Good morning, good afternoon, and wherever you are in the world, I hope you're staying safe and healthy in these ever-changing times. And welcome to the first episode of What's on My Coffee Table. Now these episodes will be split into two, one review and one read. Reading what, you may be asking yourself. As an automotive enthusiast living in uncertain times, I have acquired many automotive related books and publications which are rotated over my coffee table. And in today's episode, the first inaugural episode of What's on My Coffee Table, we will be reviewing a local publication known as the Garage Journal. This is volume 1 and they are on to volume 3. In this episode, we will be reviewing this publication, and in the next episode, part 2, we will be doing a full, almost front to back read of this magazine, which I will explain in that video. For now, let's take a closer look at the Garage Journal. The Garage Journal Volume 1, released around 2016-2017, is an incredible local Perth publication produced by a bunch of incredibly talented people. Now this original Volume 1 was produced by Patrick Sterling and photography and some of the writing by Ashley Westwood, otherwise known as Ash Westwood to those local to WA and across Australia. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this review down into 5 segments. First up on the list is tangible. How does it feel? What's the quality like? Now in my hand, this is an extremely weighty book. The print is actually really fantastic. The front cover has an enormous amount of weight to it. Each page is extremely good quality. It's very, very glossy, which in some cases does make it hard to read. But considering this is a local publication, I mean, look at that. How gorgeous is this book? I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Moving on to the writing. Now what I will say is I will preface this with the fact that this is the first volume of 3 and they have come a long way in those 3 or 4 years. Now the writing is fantastic. Could I do a better job? But I have to be honest and transparent with all these reviews. So I'm going to give the writing a 7 out of 10, but knowing full well the writing does improve over the next 2 volumes, so bear that in mind. Now in terms of photography, I think this is going to come as no surprise here. Ash Westwood is probably one of WA's premier automotive photographers, and his style just lends so incredibly well to print. Look at that, absolutely insane. Because of that, I'm going to give the photography an outstanding 9 out of 10. Now in terms of editorial assembly, that's the way the production magazine is put together, so the way it flows. Now what I will say is sometimes it does take a little bit of getting used to for the flow. For example, just understanding when there's a page break. So in the full read that I do, which is of the Lancia and the Celica, you'll notice that when I do the Lancia, there's a little bit of a gap between 2 of the paragraphs. So just here, you've got the end of the paragraph there, and then you've got a page and another page, and that paragraph continues. Now, I'm not saying that that's anything bad about the assembly, it's just something to bear in mind. And because of that, Editorial Assembly, I'm going to give still a quite high 8. Now last but certainly not least, how much are you going to be cashing out for the Garage Journal Volume 1? Now originally they were priced at $30 and that is what I paid for this one. They are now available online for $24 until they're all sold out, because obviously this was a long time ago, so they only have the ones left from the original print run. They're not going to reprint these. So when I give 1, 2 and 3 away at the end of these 3 episodes, you will have possibly a never to be printed and never to be seen again edition. Now, price $24. Considering this is a local publication, bear that in mind. This is printed in WA, produced in WA, and look at the quality. For $24, you cannot argue. And if you do, jump in the comments and tell me why. But for that reason, I'm going to give it a 9. Overall, this is an outstanding first crack at a publication. You can see here they've tried to then cover off some of the other automotive related spaces. So this is some nice fashion, tools of the trade. There's some other photographies in here. Mark Ash, who also does great automotive video as well. Just absolutely outstanding. Cannot recommend the Garage Journal enough, and I look forward to reviewing volume 2 and 3 in the upcoming weeks, and I hope you tune in for that as well. A huge shout out to the Garage Journal guys. I paid for all of these. They don't know I'm doing this. Garage Journal, you've done great, and I look forward to future volumes. That is the end of today's episode. Enjoy the full read episode, which will be coming shortly. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next one.